Meantime, since the general election in November, much has been made about some of the President-elect Donald Trump's plans once he takes office.
And that includes his intentions for the Department of Education, where big changes could be on the horizon. 3 News anchor Mike Gillespie here now with a look at how that could affect schools here in Corpus Christi. Mike?
Well, repeatedly throughout his campaign, the president-elect vowed to abolish the U.S. Department of Education, which has been a cabinet-level agency since 1979. While doing so may prove to be a bit difficult, even a dramatic overhaul could be felt right here at home. Education and politics. The two have often traveled together. I asked Corpus Christi ISD Superintendent Dr. Roland Hernandez just how much of what happens with education on a national level affects local schools. He says there is a tremendous impact.
We've heard a lot of conversation as far as what exactly is going to happen with the Department of Education. A lot of talk of maybe what used to happen there and pushing that down to the states to handle that themselves. So it's going to tremendously impact all of our schools here in the area and in Texas. A lot of it has to do with the funding that schools get, and that's probably right now for everybody, when I say this, the highest priority for our schools.
At the same time, school districts across the state have their eye on the 89th Texas Legislature, which convenes in Austin on January 14th. Governor Greg Abbott may finally have the votes he needs to pass a school choice program.
In the previous year, when there was a strong stand against vouchers by public schools in general, it did not pass in the legislature. Unfortunately, the downside of that is while that didn't pass, funding was withheld from schools, and schools, districts depend on that funding.
He's referring to the governor's reluctance to fully fund public education during the last legislative session, despite a record $32 billion budget surplus. For Hernandez, that's just one more reason why money for schools has to stay top of mind.
We depend on that money. Teacher salaries, just providing everything our students need to support them, our families, and our staff is the highest priority. Many districts across the state have experienced shortfalls, and a lot of it is because of that.
Now, following the election, Governor Abbott said that it's false to think that you can't have both school choice and robust public schools at the same time. While some agree, others remain skeptical, and it's just one more reason that the 2025 legislative session should be interesting to watch. Leslie?